thrill and ever had like an older guy like I like. You know what I'm saying? Like now, if I were to get an older guy, it's a certain, it would be certain things I'd be looking for. You know,
Listen,
We're live, yo.
I ain't
So
looking for.
we're live real quick. So I want to. So you
oh
said your
shit,
husband's your husband's 1 year younger than you, right?
yep,
So um and you say he's 55. That makes you 56, right?
yep. I just turned 56 in August.
Does he? So that means you're Leo. Leo women are the best women on
No,
the
no, no,
face
no.
of the
I'm a
earth.
Virgo. I'm a virgin,
Oh
love.
Lord,
Oh,
no,
you born at the
no.
end of August. You
I'm
one
a
of them introvert
Virgo. I'm a
quiet types.
Virgin Mary.
One of them introvert quiet calculating types.
Oh no. Um. So that make your husband. So we talked about this the last time, right? So are you? Do you feel like a cougar since you older than him?
Oh
Well, it's
hell
just 1 year.
no.
It's just 1 year, right?
No, he's my age. No, I don't feel like a
Oh, okay. You're
cougar.
older than him by like a month. You're older than him by like in the month range.
Yeah, a few months. Well, no, like a
Right.
year and a few months because he's
Has
68. I'm
your
67.
has your husband like honestly and candidly like told you that as you gotten older, like wine gets finer with time. So do you
Right.
consider yourself vintage vagina or like well aged vagina or seasoned vaginas for your husband?
Phenomenal. Period.
Phenomenal vagina for your
My
husband.
girl. That's right.
Cause that's I'm just
That's right.
trying to I'm just trying to figure that out. You know because like I say, no longer older women are like to me. I think yeah. Maybe because I be having a motive to like get their trust fund or their inheritance, but the older the
Oh
woman, the
my.
better.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
don't you think that? You say, oh my
Oh,
dear, Dr. G, what a
he's out.
I think it's all good. I think it's all good. Look, I was watching the show the other day where this young girl was she was
Mhm.
25, 26, and she does not
Mhm.
date men younger than her age. Her range is 45, 55. Okay,
I
so
think she's looking for a come up. I think she's looking
oh,
for a come
eh,
up.
no, you don't think, bro. You know she looking for a come up. Now, what she's looking for is a retirement fund. She ain't looking for no husband. She's looking for a retirement fund, fam. You know what I'm saying? Shorty said that she doesn't want to have to work, but she'd like to start a nonprofit, but she doesn't want to be responsible for any of the bills. So she can't be with a guy who is developing. He's already got to have all that. So like you said, she's looking for a retirement fund, bro. She's looking for a come up, man.
Yeah, man. I want a woman so old when she said her prayers at night, I was like, Ma, you could tell them yourself in a couple weeks. Ain't no reason to talk to
Oh
him
my
now.
God.
Hell,
Oh
you
my
funny.
God.
I'm like, why
That
you
is
praying now?
terrible.
You might as well wait till you see him in person.
That is
You
so
know
terrible.
what?
Why would you say
I'm
that?
not. I'm not. I
And
wouldn't
why
say
is
that to
she
her.
that? And why is she that old?
Because that means she's closer to me getting what's in that trust fund account or what's in that 401k or what's in that inheritance.
That is so funny. Oh my God.
That's the
Terrible.
truth.
That's so terrible, Dre.
Hey Ian, we switched it up real quick because we couldn't
What's
get
up,
anyone to
E?
share their
Hi,
screen.
Ian.
So we talking about why do real quick. It's only gonna go for a couple minutes, but why do younger men love older women, and why do older women, young women like older men? I like to me, I can be honest with you. I love when this is the honest truth. I love women since 3 years old. I can tell you from 3 years old, I love women. 3 years old. I can tell you let me tell you, my father's sister, who died, unfortunately last year, my aunt Fanny. I'll never forget. I didn't know she was older than my dad, and she lived in North Carolina. And she had a beauty salon. And I'll never forget. My father's father, my grandfather, took me down there to see her because he lived down there. And I saw this beautiful woman for the first time, and I was just like, I didn't know she was my aunt. You young like that. You don't. I was what is beautiful woman? And I remember my mother, youngest sister, who also passed last year. Another beautiful. I'm telling you, I can tell you every older woman I had a crush on from the age of like 3 up until now. That's crazy. I don't know if that's something about a man that we just love older women. I don't know. Like I get turned on when I smell icy hot in a woman's house. Like I lose my mind, man.
Nah, I don't.
Geritol and
But I
what's
like.
that? and
Dre, what is
Tussie
wrong? Oh my God.
Tussie, what's that? Tussie and all that other stuff that you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Hey yo, hey, Black Sea, ain't nothing sexier than a woman saying, "You gonna take off my bloomers?"
When you walk in the house and you smell the faint scent of mothballs.
Oh
I'm
my,
telling you.
I can't with y'all.
I'm telling you, to have a woman say, "Ratch around and hand me that turkey gravy." That's beautiful. I love that. I'm not one of them dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? Watch the
Hey,
Golden Girls with her at night. You know what I'm
oh yeah,
saying?
yeah. Black's still my favorite. Her little sassy ass.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Look, she thinks she still got some sex appeal. I think that's what it is. But I have a fetish for older women, man. I'm gonna
Oh, you got
keep
a
it real.
fetish.
Yeah, yeah.
What about Riri?
So,
How is you and
but
your
I think
husband in the same? Not to cut you off, Black Sea. If you and your husband in the same age range before Black Sea finished his statement, Riri.
Um, we
Oh,
are.
she got to think. She got to
Yeah, I
think.
think about it because I'm just trying to be careful of how I'm answering this.
Oh.
Um, because you labeled the person, and I don't.
Oh, I don't want to say husband. Then your partner, is that more adequate or
There's a
apropos?
there's a 4 year difference.
Oh, that's not bad. And who's the older one?
He is.
Okay. So I see. That's what I think. I think men should be in that age range of a woman. You know what I'm saying? I think that's apropos, right? I think 4 or 5 years if you're dating a younger woman, right? Because I know by you being younger, even if y'all still in, let's say if y'all in your 40s or 50s, you still gotta listen to what he say.
I can't. You know what? Here's the
you
thing. I
couldn't
guess
even get that out all the way,
no.
bro.
I know.
Because I'm thinking about it. I'm just thinking like he's still the older one, so she gotta, ain't gonna be no talking back.
No,
But go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off, Black Seed.
no, but listen.
Oh no,
Here's
you.
the thing. Women, like you said, younger women always want older men, and older women always want younger men. Um,
Mhm.
you know, like I said earlier, the older I get, the
Mhm.
more I'm like, I don't want no old, old dude. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
want somebody that can keep up with you, basically. You want somebody that, I mean, it really shouldn't matter what the age, as long as they can keep up with you and they have the same type of energy you have.
Mhm.
That's what really matters. And when you get my age, because I'm 58, so when you
Mhm.
get my age, and I run like a 30-year-old, and
Mm.
you're 40 years old, you're 4 years older than me, and you can't run like me. That's a problem.
Do your partner have to take pre-workout before he make love to you, or like there's some type of stimulant? Because you say you run like a gazelle.
I do.
So is it Lord have mercy, Jesus? Does he need any type of like like me before I go to the gym? Yeah, I drink my pre-workout, my aminos. Does he have to take that, or he's on go? Which one is it?
Better eat the Wheaties. I'm telling you,
Lord
gotta
have
do
mercy,
something.
Jesus.
Gotta do something.
That's what I noticed too. Women between
Hey,
the ages.
the Jamaicans call it
Go ahead.
roots. The
Yeah,
Jamaicans call it
really,
roots.
if you really think about it,
Black.
that so-called sea moss that people are capping, acting like is actually good for you, that is really just an aphrodisiac. So maybe he's taking sea moss. But then
Yeah.
again, if I'm not mistaken, Riri, you're the lobster queen, right? So
I
lobster is an
am.
aphrodisiac.
Yes,
So
shellfish is.
if you feeding him lobster, he ready to go too. You're right. I see.
But
I don't know if
yeah.
that's true or not. I'm too cheap to I'm gonna give you the fish stick thing out
You
the
so sick.
freezer.
can't. I can't. You are crazy.
I'm gonna go get you some fish sticks and see if that works. We worry about lobster. That ain't gonna work. Hey, Ian, do you
Well,
prefer a younger woman or an older woman, Ian? If you there, you probably. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know. You
Mm-hmm.
said something
We
earlier.
can hear you.
My mic was messing up earlier. Yeah. No, I don't. I don't. I take them 80. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes.
So you like them? Oh, you like them younger?
No. Well, well, as I'm getting
Uh huh.
younger, yeah, I would say younger.
Okay, how much younger? Do you like them in the 4 to 5 year range, like Riri has with her companion, or do you like them like 10 to 12?
Yeah, man, 10 to 12, bro. 10 to.
Ooh, he want him a young stallion, Riri. You hear that?
Mhm.
I hear it. I see. My goodness.
Mm, mm. He want him a young stallion.
He wants to be rocked. Uh-huh.
But here's the thing, Ian. Are you going to be able to, with youth comes, there's going to be certain wants, right? Like, are you going to be able to, like, actually pretend that you care about listening about her day when she comes to you and tell you why she's mad, or like how are you going to deal with that? Like, because when they're younger, they're looking for you for, like, I don't want to say guidance, but they're looking for you more as a someone to identify with them. I think when you're dealing with an
Father
older
figure.
woman, yeah, and like exactly, like you got to be her homie, her lover, and her friend, and her father, right? So like when you're dealing with an older woman, and I'm sure Riri can kind of attest to this, an older woman, especially with a younger guy, she's looking more to cater to him. She's not really looking to tell him why the stoplight went 2 extra seconds today, and like I just think it's different when you're dealing with a younger woman. You're gonna take on a lot of her, like just nagging and complaining that you gotta actually sound interested into her day. Like, are you willing to do that?
I mean, I can wing. I can wing.
Uh huh.
I can wing it. I mean, but I mean, I don't know when. They're different these days anyway. The old and the young. You know what I'm saying? So we talk
Mm-hmm.
about a different grade of women all around. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think the younger ones even today they're uninterested in men anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think that they're looking like that anymore. I mean, maybe back in the day and time, they have their role models. You know what I'm saying? It's women. I don't think they're necessarily
Mm-hmm.
looking for men to be role models like that anymore.
What do you think they're looking for exactly there?
Man, and that was the question I was going to ask. I have no idea. I have no idea. Uh, I don't. I don't.
It's honest. That's honest, man.
Well, I mean, if I mean,
I don't think any of us 100% knows. So that's why I said that's honest. Like, you know, people looking for different things, but
but this is my thing too. If you want a younger woman, right? Because this is one thing I think Kevin Samuels did not really tell a lot of these guys that say they want to date a younger woman. Do most men realize you got to be like in shape and you got to kind of like have like a style that's gonna like because what younger woman wants a guy that kind of looks like her dad? You
Homer
understand what I'm
Simpson.
saying? Right.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from, Riri?
100%.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We're gonna put you on the Summer Jam stage real quick. Do you understand that if you are a younger woman, do you want to make love to a guy that look like your dad?
Hell
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
No. I don't.
Walk in with the stains under the underarm of his tank top and belly over his draws, right? I don't think you want that.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
And that's the thing. I think that's one thing Kev and them, did not really like his thing was lead with your wallet, and I think that's. I'm not gonna get into that part, but but my thing is, let's just say you don't lead with your wallet. The first thing the woman notices is your style, your presentation, and how you look, right? Women will find anything to like about you and find anything not to like about you. But I think you have a better chance of dating a young woman. We're going to put E on the Summer Jam stage real quick. If you look like that brother right there, right? You see, he look like, a handsome, updated Morris Day slash actor. You know what I'm saying? And so he has an opportunity to date a younger woman. I don't think if you looking like Uncle Phil, you can go up in the club in Atlanta and be like, hey, what the skeezers and the hooches, right? Like, do you fit the mold, right? Before I found the Lord and I was in those streets, like where Black C lived, DC, like that used to be one of my stomping grounds. Like I understood if I'm in DC, my vernacular to get a woman in DC would have to be totally different than how I'm gonna talk to a woman in New York and New Jersey, right? It's just when in Rome, do as the Romans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like me and Black C know, if you in LA, it is a total different culture in LA, right?
Yeah.
In LA, you gotta kind of like let that woman dictate that energy to you, like unlike no place else. I think the West Coast is like that. Like it took me years to understood that if a woman said, yo, let's just go kick it, that meant go to her house. I used to be like, we kicking it now, ma. And they used to be like, you moron. They like, no, you coming back with me. I'm like, what?
Cut up. Let's go cut.
Right.
Yeah. Or smash
It's the same thing with you being older and wanting a younger girl. Like these younger girls got younger men hollering at them, and the younger man is already a more well put together. So it's like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't date the younger woman. I just don't think that when Kev and other people be saying that, they don't really equip men to understand how to garner the younger woman. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Other thing too is Kev was like in fairly decent shape. He was a tall cat that was thin. He said that he went to the gym and stuff. So his scenario is not the scenario that you are contrasting, right? And he wasn't. I agree with you that that's not something that was really clear with regards to his show or his messaging. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like to have yourself together would be to exemplify someone like himself. The right suit. You know what I'm saying? The right cologne. You got to be working out. Yada yada yada. So those things was kind of. I agree with you to some degree. I think those things was assumed. I don't think that a lot of cats really understand at the end of the day that by you just having your shit together is not enough.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's part of it. That's part of it. But this is why who they call Pookie and Ray Ray. This is why these niggas can find a lane, because it's not necessarily about that, although that does come into play at some point in time. But what you were saying about energy, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot to do with it. I got a lot to do with it. But and women will play both sides. Don't get me wrong. They do with the cat who got his shit together and the cat who doesn't, that comes through and bust their ass, and he's got the swag of the fawns. Right. Yeah.
But the other part of it too, I do know this, is that a woman can and will be captivated based on the level of respect that you get from other men. So when you're talking,
that's true.
That was one of the criteria for the high value men. I think there were like 6 of them, and one of them was the respect of your peers. So I think in some cases you can get away with a younger woman if you can walk around with other men and other men give you respect. She'll fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm a expound on that, because me and Obsession talked about that a year ago to this when the Surgeon General made the announcement that they were trying to find an actual cure for male loneliness, right? And I was talking about this with my other good friend, the psychiatrist, my girl Christina Senatore. So I was telling her in Maslow's pyramid, when you get into self-actualization, one thing that like you just said, the one thing you leave off is the fact that we need external validation. right, in order to be accepted by them. And so what I mean by that is that, and Riri is here, so we're gonna put her on the Summer Jam screen. But the one thing I understand is that no one, when it comes to being a guy, so what Ian just said is true. So listen, this is why men who get women always get more women, because no one eats at an empty restaurant. So the woman, more than the woman looking at how guys look at that, how guys look at that guy, the woman is looking at how other women are looking at that guy. Am I right on the Summer Jam screen, young lady?
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
Right? And so it's always that one dude. And let's just say you lived in the projects in the 90s. It was always that one dude that every woman knew he was a hoe in the projects, but every woman wanted a Tarrant of that hoe in the project.
Right.
No one eats at an empty restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And I think more than you see the external validation of other men, you know, and I know that's what he meant on the high, and I know what you're saying, Ian, because on the high values, like, yo, he got money, he got resources, he got paper, he got this. The woman is looking at that and looking at how other women admire him on top of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why, in a bad sense, one of Kevin Samuel's spokesperson, who's still on now, is not the best person to think about, which is Dennis Sperling. And I'm not taking a shot at him. But if you look at Dennis, he's not, outside of him being a lawyer, what does Dennis have to attract the woman?
That's it, bro. Bro, you already said it. That's it. I mean, my man Dennis, he's a multi-millionaire, right?
Exactly.
So he's living a certain lifestyle, at least presumably, that most of us will not or don't live, right? At the end of the day. I 100% agree with you, because this is not take shots at Dennis Hour, just like you said, but I agree with you. It's like, it's not the swagger.
Right.
Now
no woman is gonna be, listen, no woman is gonna be in no woman is, okay, I'm trying to think. No woman's gonna be at Nobu in Los Angeles and walk past his table if he's sitting by himself and just say, I just want to sit next to you and eat. No. No woman's gonna be in South Beach, Miami. Because let's be honest, and once again, this is not taking a shot at him, but a multi-million-dollar lawyer had to be in Kevin Samuel's group in order to get his woman. Right? If you gave me if you gave me millions of dollars, my vagina cup shall runneth over. Right? And so that's what I'm saying. It shows you the difference. You know what I'm saying? That you have to, if you're gonna play that game, like I said, give me Ian's looks and Dennis Sperling money, and I'm winning.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
But
I agree.
The part of it too, though, is you it depends on whether or not, because again, the woman is, you have to determine, because again, the woman is mysterious. You don't know what she really. So is she looking for a long-term relationship or a short-term relationship? You know what I'm saying? So and then bring up Dennis Sperling. So to clarify, he was looking for a long-term relationship. He was swimming in it. You know what I'm saying? No, he was swimming. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But those weren't long-term, viable long-term relationships. So he went to Kevin because, you know, he couldn't see the caliber of women that were actually looking for long-term type of relationships. He was looking for a traditional woman, and he was like, you know, just out and about, you really can't find that. So, you know, that becomes the conundrum. You know, I don't think there's really, if you look for term, I don't think there's really a plan, you know, or a guide to find a long-term relationship with a female. I don't think. To get short-term attention, there's a lot of criteria you can lay down and meet it. You can do that, but a long-term relationship, who knows why, you know, women settle down long-term? You know, who knows how they do that?
But the thing, Ian, that you're kind of like, so you're saying that, in his case, he was looking for a long-term relationship, right?
He's looking for a wife.
Here's my or wife, right? You telling me a millionaire lawyer in America can't get a wife, though? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not questioning the theory. I'm questioning the sentiment, because it's like, listen, Ian is a whole lot cuter than you are if a woman finds out you got money. Right? Like, once again, they'll put up with all your junk. Like, listen, hold on. I'm gonna put Riri on the Summer Jam stage. Look, at the end of the day, let me tell you something. And Riri, you can say yay or nay. Let me tell you something. How can I say this? I wanna choose my expression wisely. Every man breath smells a whole lot better. His penis is a whole lot longer, and he's a whole lot cuter and taller if he has hundreds of thousands or millions in the bank.
Yeah.
Right? That it just one place you can always test this theory is Las Vegas. Go to Las Vegas at I don't care what month, what day, what week, and just walk through the casino and look at these older men, these below average looking men, right? And one thing you'll notice is that they got something on their arm, fine as wine and thin as wind.
Yeah.
Right? And you got to say to yourself, why?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what money does.
But Dre,
include Miami in there too, bro.
Include
Miami in there too.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying?
I seen that shit. I was like, huh?
Dre, here's the thing though. Do you think? See, I think some women know what a real high value man is, right? And what money can buy. I think the majority of women they don't know the value of a dollar. I really don't think necessarily that if you got 100,000 between difference between 100,000 and a million. I don't think the most women know in terms of the actual dollar value as far as what it really means. I don't really think it's a relationship that they really understand that. I think it's when you have a certain amount of money, you can go stunt, right? You can go to certain places. I think it's still so when I said okay, the respect of your peers, I think money gives you respect. And I think that's what again the woman is looking at. Okay, how much respect is this man getting when he goes out? I think she gets starry-eyed when people cater to the man that she's with. And I think you can pull that off easy. You know what I'm saying? That's easy to pull off. So I really don't think that they really understand. Once you get past a certain dollar amount, I don't really think they know the difference between one amount and the other. I really don't. I think they got us thinking that they really understand, but they don't know the value of the dollar. We're men. We know that they don't know the value of the dollar. Otherwise, they be doing things different with their money.
Let me chime in on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, brother. My bad.
No, I just think that my response to Ian is that their value of a dollar is what that dollar that he has can get her. Like that's just what it is. So if the value of that guy is what the value of his money can actually give her lifestyle wise. So if the value of that guy can give her a Chanel bag every holiday, then he's the greatest man in the world. If the value of that man's dollar is going to make sure she goes to Greece in Croatia every summer, then he's the greatest man in the world. Because once again, the one thing we're starting to learn about being, we're going to say black just because of the platform, but you want to say freeman, is that the bottom line is, just look at this country. The difference from being a good father and a bad father is having the money to be a father. Let you run out of money and your ex-wife or baby mama say she needs something. You can love your daughter till the cows come home. You still the worst dad in the world. And that's how they look at you on dating. Once again, I have never in my life seen a woman walk down the street and say, "Hey, Andre, you have such a great heart. I saw your heart from across the street. You want some vagina? Because your heart is just shining. I swear. You just no." You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, is either they can look at you and see it in you and be like, okay. Like I said, I'm sure Ian or Black Sea has never worked at Burger World, McDonald's, or McDowell's or whatever, and had a car pull up and say, I see the potential, the way you hand me those fries. Quit this job and get my business.
But let me elaborate. Because
Mm-hmm.
study came out that said after a certain amount of money, right, the happiness level that money buys you starts to diminish, right? And I think what they were looking at, they were looking like at 80. They say they were looking at like $80,000. They were like, yo, really, because you can still go, you can still go to those places. What I'm saying is, whether $1 million, you can't spend. What I'm saying, they don't know the value of a dollar, because what I'm saying is, you can't spend a fucking $1 million. You know what I'm saying? You can't spend it.
Ian, we got to put you on the Summer Jam screen for this one, brother.
Look, yeah, let me chime in too.
And after I finish this, please, Black Sea, there's a woman named Evelyn Lozada. And Antoine Walker had to make at least over $187 million in his NBA career. And as soon as Antoine Walker fell on his ass, Evelyn Lozada was out of there, right? Now, look what she did. She got with Chad, right? I got my own theory on that situation, how that diffused up, but I'll leave it there. But she didn't end there. She went and made sure she got Carl Crawford right after he signed that $100 million baseball deal. Because you know what she said, Ian? Even if I can't spend $100 million, I'm going to have a hard goddamn time having fun trying to do it. Right?
And because she dropped the seed for him, so that was her money grab right there.
There you go. There you go.
Trashy.
You understand? There you go. Because she said, look, I couldn't spend, hey, Ian, I couldn't spend all of Antoine's money, but I'm a damn sure try to spend
But
you know what I'm saying?
And again, they're looking for the retirement plan. So you got to understand that too. It's a retirement plan. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to secure her lifestyle, living a certain lifestyle forever. So that's a lot of it too. The other thing too is I agree with you. I think you're right, Ian, that and I can't say all women, but just as a generalization, that those that we're talking about, no, they don't understand the value of a dollar, or what, you know, the difference between, you know, 80 million and 200 or 300 million, as an example, in the sense of understanding the dollar amount, right? Or if you want to say things like dollar cost average, that is very true. What they understand, like Dre said, is hypergamy. They understand that if a guy's making $800,000 a year, she dated that guy. Dating him, he has a certain lifestyle that she gets to essentially tap into to some degree as a result of that. That's a different experience than dating a guy that's got 8 million or 18 million or 80 million. And she's going to know that. So she don't know the dollar amount. To your point, you're exactly right about that. But she understands the difference in the living style, right? And essentially what can be afforded or what's within inside the means of the 8 millionaire versus the 800,000aire. And so that's how a lot of times they're gauging it. But let me drop something else on you. My brother is 54. And he said this shit to me back in my 20s, fam. He said who was married for 22 years. He said, when women meet each other, they ask, so what does your husband do? Okay? What they're really saying, according to my brother, is what kind of man can your pussy pull? Okay? So when one says, My husband is a general practitioner doctor. What does your husband do? In other words, she's saying, bitch, I can pull a doctor. That's what my value is. The type of man is that's what he is, right? She might not know the dollar amount. She knows this motherfucker's a doctor, right? He's in an industry where he can do well for himself and it's above average. The other woman replies back and says, my husband is a neurologist or neurosurgeon, right? In other words, bitch, I can pull a better man than you. Okay? This pussy pulls a higher quality of man than the one that you got. Now again, I'm just telling you this is how my brother was explaining this to me. Ladies, you may not agree with that. Right? But as an older man, he was explaining to me, he was like explaining how a person basically expresses what they think their value is or the things that are attached to themselves in conversation. And a lot of times these things are below the surface, right? Because you could just come out and say, well, shit, what type of guy can you pull? But they don't ask each other that. They say, what does your husband do? So
But
just saying
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think you're right though about the hype. I think again, I think it's they don't know the value of the dollar. That I think it's really all about hypergamy. I think they don't know because when you bring up these doctors, a lot of them, doctors and lawyers, a lot of them ain't making what you think they're making. You know what I'm saying? They're not. You know what I'm saying? Especially the overhead. You know what I'm saying? If they're not living at their means, you know what I'm saying? If they're living, they're not really doing it like that. And so you take a guy who's making less than that, but he's living within his means. He might have a lot of disposable money. You know what I'm saying? But the woman, she's gonna go with the guy who got less money but got a more prestigious career. You know what I'm saying? Even though the other guy, he actually can buy her more shit and do more for her. You know what I'm saying? So again, I really don't think they understand the value of a dollar, because if it was about that, they would be choosing different men, because a lot of the men that they choose, they're choosing based off of, okay, this is how much respect he gets in the world. And especially if you're talking about our women are all about respect. Look at, and when we talk about the Pookies, a lot of the times they're with the Pookies because there's this whole thing about these Pookies are respected by everybody. They're feared and respected by everybody. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of cases, they getting their pussy wet again because this nigga can walk around and motherfuckers are afraid of him. You know what I'm saying? That is in a large part where they tie the money value to the man. How much respect is he getting? Yes, they're looking at how much other women, but again, women, again, those other women, they started out looking at, oh, you know what? Other men are respecting him. He's the one that I want. I mean, because if we're going to go back to the past, at a certain, back in the past, we had the fathers and different people vetting the men, you know what I'm saying, that were going to be with the women. So that's still kind of built in where they are looking at, okay, do other men see him, as a can't get right, or a respectable man. That is part of it, and the money is a lot of times how they judge it, or they could look at the career, but they could look at the money again. I think too, not necessarily about about the money itself, but okay, this is how much respect he's going to get because he has that level of money.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I feel like a lot of times they go hand in hand. You know what I mean? I mean, as far as status goes, you know what I'm saying? So I don't disagree with that. Um, I would say, yeah, I don't disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I will say, I don't think it's one or the other, right? Because I think that that's correct. And we also have to factor in too. And I'm not sure if Dre said this or someone else, but the aspect of security, and that is important. That's important to all human beings. It's definitely important to women. So what I'm trying to say is that that's another factor too. Like he used Evelyn. what she's trying to do is secure a certain lifestyle. And she's going to jump from lily pad to lily pad to do that. She's not going to regress in what she thinks or how far she thinks she's come and the type of man that she can pull. So basically Evelyn is just like Joe, what you call it, wife. The only difference is she decided to go to her room and start what you call it, what you call it, fans and shit. But basically, what she was saying is the same thing. Um, the girl, British Williams, she kind of made the same excuse, like, oh well, after I don't know if y'all know, but after these athletes, get out of the league, they don't know what they want to do anymore. So all of a sudden, now she got to grab the bull by the horns, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying, and do all of this hustling and stuff, and she's running a bunch of scams. She just got herself 4 years in prison and 5 years of probation afterwards. So I agree. I definitely agree that there's a aspect about that, and that women will look at how other men see a man. That's part of a status aspect, also as well. But I think it's also relative back to that individual. That individual is looking at it like, well, shit. If I score him, what does that mean with regards to my value? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
What about the guy who has like a labor job, of some sort, but he's making big bank? That same female, she ain't fucking with, what I'm saying, the one that'll fuck with the one who has a prestigious, looking career. She, even though they might be making the same money, she not fucking with that nigga who got a labor job that's bringing in even more than what he make. You know what I'm saying? She not fucking with him like that. I mean, just point blank, she not. And if she is fucking with him, she trying to at least, okay, this nigga might take me to a restaurant, or I might see one of these other high-powered, respectable Negroes. You know what I'm saying? So, that's really how the game is rigged with these women. A lot of these women, again, they're looking for the money, but again, like you said, lifestyle. They're looking to have access all around to niggas, right? Because some men have the money, but they not around all these other different kind of people though. You know what I'm saying? And we're living in a day and age where most women, they trying to fucking blow up their damn self. So like, yo, this nigga got money, but he don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? Or if he does, or he really ain't living where he's interested in being around all of these high-powered individuals. So you know what I'm saying? That level of vanity, and like I said, I think vanity in the women is the utmost thing. Even before you talk about security, I think vanity is the number one driving factor.
It might be. I mean, might be. We had to take in consideration about the nature of us as human beings and animals. You know what I'm saying? That we the
I
same
think they're
species,
vain by
but
nature, though. But go.
yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
what no,
Mhm.
you good, you good. That's essentially what I'm saying. Is like so that it doesn't sound like an attack, but it's just like that might be a part of the nature with regards to that. At the end of the day, women need more. I mean, a dude could live in a box on the corner and shit. A lot of women ain't gonna be able to live with that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Word.
they're gonna need more than that, right? At the end of the day, and they go through certain things biologically more too. So where they may need pads and different things when it's their time of the month. Men don't. So it's like we are able to kind of, not saying we all want to do that, but we can rough it and still be comfortable. There are definitely women who are capable of that, but just when we talk about the natural makeup of that, security is a factor. So that's why I say, like, in some senses, they're doing exactly what the nature of a woman, I mean, would be at the end of the day. And I would agree. Dre said this the other day that sex has always been transactional on some level, and it will always be that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have nothing to push back on what you were saying, E. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you were saying. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
So, but do you know what security is, right? Because look at this. we live in one of the most secure societies that we've ever been in the world, right? But yet, why is it that all these women is talking about I feel unprotected and this and that? Again, I think their value system with regard to protection, with regard to money, I think their scale is broken, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we not living in the wild. We're not living in the wild west no more. So I don't think they're really able to gauge it. I don't think that they can put two and two together because what money is and what money can buy is more complex than what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you could actually see how much cattle you got, how much land you got. You know what I'm saying? You got multimillionaires, you got billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Living in what is it? Elon said he living in a fucking tiny house and shit. Like I said, the way the world is, I don't think women have a fucking clue. And again, I think, even again, the example I'm saying about protection, they're the most protected species that has ever been on the planet, and they still acting as if somehow, what I'm saying, they gotta run for the fucking hills when they walk when they walk out the door. So again, this is a security thing. I really don't think they understand. Again, I think it's all smoking, all about vanity because they don't know what security is, nor do they know because that was what a name Iyama said, to the chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that dude, he got 80,000, but listen, he got pension. This nigga got health care. You talking about security? That's the most secure motherfucker it is walking around. He in the industry that will never go out of demand. So do they know what security is? Shit, I don't think so.
Well, I think you're talking about, for the most part, you're talking about want versus need, right? They're driven off their wants, which is also a part of their vanity. The needs, the one thing I learned, their needs are, for the most part, their needs are going to grow. The more you give them, the more they want. So it's like, at the end of the day, I think they know the value of $1. I'll tell you that much because they ain't got no problem spending it, especially if you got it. They also know the value of $1 to the point where if you ain't got it, they ain't gonna be with you.
Right? You ain't got no value. You got less value.
I'm sitting here patiently waiting to chime in. I'm just listening.
Oh, it's chime in.
Yeah, just chime in anytime, man.
Let me know when I have to chime in. Okay.
Matter of fact, ladies, go ahead.
I don't know where the women that you guys are talking about, people like Evelyn and other people of that nature, that those are certain caliber of women that you're talking about. There are not women. The average woman is not at all like what you guys are talking about. Not saying they don't exist, but they're not, they don't come like, you're talking about specific type of women. The average woman that's going to work every day and coming home are basically not thinking along those lines. Unless you're talking about really young girls who are influenced by television and social media, then I understand that's what you're talking about. But you're talking about a specific type of woman. Their minds are still in girl mode. A woman like Evelyn her mind is still in girl mode because she's still trying to outdo the next housewife. She's trying to outdo whoever. Women are not doing stuff like that. They're just not. I don't know. And I know a lot of people. I don't know how many. I don't know a lot of women that's afraid to walk out the door and looking for protection all the time. I don't know them. Not saying they don't exist, but I don't want you to think that the majority of women are feeling unprotected, are looking for the man with the gazillion dollars, looking for somebody to zaddy them and to just take care of everything for them. That's not real. Women know that that's real. Women know that that's not real. I'm not going to go out of my door and, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I'm looking for somebody that's a millionaire. I'm single and I'm looking for a millionaire. But if this guy that I meet is, like you said, a $80,000 man that makes $80,000 a year, and he's a good person, and he treats me with respect, and he, I don't feel threatened by him because, maybe he's a mass murderer or something. If that's what you're talking about, Ian, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but that's the only kind of thing that I would think. If I don't know you, I have to get to know you, so I don't know what you are, right? But I can only think that you're talking about some young person that is want to be like the reality show chicks. I don't. That's not real. But what y'all saying, they're not real. It's not real.
But here, okay, BB, do you know? Okay, do you know about the one sister up in Chicago who's the mayor? So she actually is spending the actual people's money on herself, like it's her bank account. She's just spending the shit. She's
Right.
actually about to get investigated by the what is it, Kim, the lady that was over Jesse Smollett and kind of fumbled that with him or whatever. But yeah, she's what I'm saying is when you're saying that these are the women in general, right? Again, she's the mayor. Still fucking just spend like she's a flaunt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you don't like. It's the switch is not turning off anymore. You know what I'm saying? This the girl switch. You know what I'm saying? The girl mode. In comparison, and it's not turning off. This is a different era we're living in altogether. Is what I'm saying. The whole era from the older women to the younger women to even the women that got respectable jobs. They all got this mindset. It's a brainwashing. Is what I'm.
But Ian, that's kind of the only reason I'm going to say that part of it is kind of a bad example is because the mayor of New York is in the same position. He took so much money and he's spending it on himself. It's the same thing. Money is everybody wants money. Okay. At the end of the day, you can't say it's women that's looking for money. I can tell you some men that's looking for money, and we'll get with women that got money because he wants to be taken care of and he's looking for money. That's a two-way street.
Facts.
It's hard to say that it's just women that's looking for money. Like I can give you people's names that are looking for money and not necessarily a relationship. And it's the same thing. So I don't know. I think everybody got their things with them. I agree with mostly everything you guys are saying because yeah, the women that you're talking about that's into that type of thing are exactly what you're saying. Exactly what you're saying. But I just don't want you guys to because you're young, and I don't want you to think that all women are crazy like that, because to me that's insanity to just live your life in that way and say I can't be with a man unless he can take care of me and that's it. Not because I don't want to be with this man because he's a bad person or he's abusive or he doesn't know how to even handle his own self. That would be a reason to not want somebody, not because, oh, he's not a millionaire, he can't take care of me. Can we take care of each other? Should be the question. Can we do this together? Can we take care of each other? Can we reciprocate each other's and everything? But I know everybody's not like that. Maybe it's just my generation. I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I don't know, because I do know younger people that are not like that. That's why I don't want y'all to think that they're all like that. They're not.
But
Well,
really, you made the comparison between men and women. See, this is where you have to draw the line. See, because men, they make money, right? So they can have money available for the women, right? When women make money, they're not thinking about, okay, I need this amount of money to get a man. So it's
No.
a so what I'm saying is these aren't the same mindsets. Men have been trained, they have to have, because this is the whole conversation we've been in. Men have to have money to get a female, get a woman. A woman doesn't have to have money for shit. So again,
But that's because of the culture, Ian. It's
yeah,
because of the
yeah,
culture.
yeah, I get, but what I'm trying to say is there's a different mentality, right? Again, even with the man who's looking for money, you still have to. It's an exact for a woman to be doing that. Her mentality in a negative way is more exaggerated than that same man that's trying to get money because we
Whose
have
fault
been
is it?
trained. We have been trained. We need that money, right? Women
Ian, whose
women
fault is
women
it? Whose
haven't
fault?
women haven't been trained. They need to have money to get access to this, that, and the other.
You're
They
right. You're right. But whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Who created this law? Who created this rule? The women stay home, the men work, the men take care of the women. You can't do nothing. You can't. I got you. I'm taking care of everything. I'm going to pay the bill. I'm going to take care of you. You have the kids. I'm going to take care of it. You don't do anything. You don't bring anything to the table. I got this because I'm the man. Because I'm the man, oh man, oh man. I'm 100% man. I'm all man. So whose fault is that? Who started that?
it's a
We didn't start that. We didn't make the rules.
no no
The men made the rules.
yeah yes. So but here's the problem though. If here's the thing, if you can get a man, if this same woman again
Mm-hmm.
can get a man to make all that money, why is she still interested in making all the money for herself? You know what I'm saying? If the man has it,
Because again, we're talking about the culture. Because now that whole women's suffrage that happened and the whole women's movement and everybody is doing all of that stuff back in the day and they fought for all of these rights, they fought for this and the third. So now they have it. So now society, I want to say white supremacists, but society is making it harder. And this part I agree with you on. Society is making it harder for men to be men because they want to pull men back and make women more superior than men and give them the leading jobs and the higher paying jobs over men. And when I say men, I'm talking about our men and our women. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So again, it goes back to a cultural thing, a society thing. It's not necessarily, oh, this woman is like this because of her being like that. It's the way culture is. But we have to go back and look at how it started. Who started the culture to be that way? So now you got women who are, what's the word? I don't want to say confused, but kind of torn between, I want a man that can take care of me. I want to be able to take care of myself. I want some women, I want to contribute to the situation because I don't want it to be all on him. You have so many different aspects of this that it becomes it pulls and it's difficult now because now everybody's confused of what role everybody should be playing. That's my take on it.
yeah, it's confused. It's confused.
It
Well,
is.
I would
It's
say
sad.
that I would say that the last part is the most pertinent part. Is that how can I say what you were saying about, it's hard. They made it harder for us because for years in millennia, the mandate of masculinity is to protect and provide. And
Right.
so as a man, if you have a family, if you got kids and a wife or kids and a woman that you occupy a space with those kids, and you got to come home every day and there's no results, only excuses and explanations, your masculinity goes out the window. Even yourself, you can't look at yourself the same way because you realize, like, yo, I got kids to feed, right? This is why the crack era ran through the United States like it was crazy, because the roaring 70s, as I like to call it, where your parents were just working and it was factory jobs and hard hat jobs and low skilled labor that paid you a livable wage, going into the 80s of Reaganomics, and you just like, yo, how I'm gonna feed my family? And then you get something that you can sell for $5, whether it destroyed your community or not, you saw your family get undergirded. And I'm telling you, that's the difference. The mandate of masculinity has been tested. And now you're looking at now where we at now, where it was once labor ran this country. Now everything else does. So now, like, you can't even get medial labor, you can't get skilled labor, and things. The cost of living is super high, and you still got to do what? Provide and protect. But now, like Ian says, and I'm sure Riri has can identify with, a lot of women are getting, especially black women, get hired more than black men at this point, and they get positions of like pseudo power, I like to say, and so, or proximity to power, and so the first thing they do is shine on, oh yeah, I'm your boss, and I tell women, you always hear me say this. I tell women all the time, if you think a black man in his 30s wants to be out in front of a liquor store going do that, like, that's social collateral. That's not what a man want to be out there doing. Like, are you crazy? When you live in this country and Benz are driving past you and Lamborghini, you know what I'm saying? You think you want to be out in front of a liquor store? Talking about do that. No, you don't. It's like, you want to have your own home. You want to have your lady. You want to have your family. You want to have your kids. You want to have your side pieces. You want to live the American dream. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that what God wants? Come on, man. So I just think that,
especially the side pieces, Dre.
Well, listen, Solomon was a man of the Lord. They said the wisest king on the planet. So you got to understand that, when I drop my new book called Number 2, The Art of the Side Piece, we're going to get into that. But, my thing is that,
I'm going to get that to my child's daughter. I mean, my child's mother. When we first met, she was like, I'm not trying to be second chair. I was like, what the fuck is second chair? I ain't trying to be second to nobody. I ain't trying to sit in no second chair. I said, nigga, what is being banned or something? Nigga, second chair, nigga.
Oh my God.
Black Seed, the next time a woman say that to you, take out a chain and say, show me the first link from the second link. But all the links together is a chain.
Right.
You can't tell me which is the first link or second link. If the chain is fully intact, show me the first or the second link. There is no first and second link because it's a chain, right? But that's what I'm saying. Before we, because I'm about to end this now, because like I said, this was a pop-up for us to have this conversation, and Ian got his off, and Riri, and Black. We'll do this tomorrow formally when we show about the age of vanity and show how it changed the dynamic of women's taste. But I just feel like, listen, I think Riri aside, the lobster queen, our beautiful Freeman sister who was on our side, but Riri can't lie and say that these women ain't out here looking for that.
No, they are. They are a certain caliber of them, though.
Right. It ain't no certain caliber. You gotta listen. The last of the Mohicans are in you. You and Dr. G are literally peers in age, right? So the last of the Mohicans are you guys. I'm telling you, there's no woman under the age of 45 that ain't looking for that.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with that.
I'm just keeping it a buck.
I agree with that.
If you under the, and I'm being generous saying 45, I really want to say 49. But if these women ain't looking for no good, okay. Integrity in the man is only the lifestyle he can provide, period. Because if he can give that woman everything she wants, she'll put up with all the BS he put her through, and that's just a fact.
I agree with you.
She'll put up with it. She'll put up with all of that. The difference is that now you got women that are a little bit wiser, like a Evelyn, who says, well, I'm going to juice you for all you get, and I'll put up with your BS for a minute. But when it's time for me to go dip and go get that next big check, I'm going to get that next big check.
And good for him. Good for him. Because why is he with her? Everybody in the world knows her. Why is he with her?
I agree with that. I have my thing is, you heard me say this before. My thing is, if you weren't getting women at your regular stage, you got to be very wary of why you getting women once you're successful. Right. Like, if you're not honest with yourself and be like, yo, bro, she's just rocking with you because of who you are. Now, you ain't got to say that to her and be a prick. You listen, enjoy the spoils of the fruits of your labor. But you got to be honest with yourself, right? You can't act like you're this fly guy. No, they see the resources in you. And I'm not saying don't enjoy the beautiful woman, but in the back of your mind, you got to be cognizant and say, yo, she's only with me because of what I've achieved, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It ain't me, it's the
common
dough.
sense. Yo,
Yeah.
it's just the truth. Like, why you have to, like, it's like.
It's like Jay-Z, ill. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he marries Beyonce. Come on, please. But I know what you're saying. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right.
and with you got to think about that. Like he been with plenty of pretty women.
Exactly.
to add to that, because of what? Status,
That is, yeah.
wealth, power. What
Mm-hmm.
Ian said, other people respect him.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that those people that are with him, they get propped up, right? You get propped up in that light and shit. When that spotlight hit the stage and shit, bitch, I'm in the. Y'all see me out there, don't you? Y'all in the shadows, nigga. Peep me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that, yeah.
That's true.
It's that. You know what I'm saying?
On
personally,
on his
Go
first
ahead, bro.
big song, right? On In My Lifetime the remix. In My Lifetime the remix, the dopest thing he ever said, he said, chickens wasn't checking for me a dozen or so months ago. Now all they know
Right.
I'm a person. If
Right.
that don't listen,
Yep. I'm a
that shit
person.
stuck with me. Now I was 14 when I heard that shit. That shit stuck with me for the rest of my life. That's still to me the dopest. Jay's kind of a fucked up person, but Jay, that was one of the things that really made me realize how nice he was to say it the way he said it. Chickens wasn't checking for me a dozen or so months ago. Now all they know I'm a person, and it's just like, damn, right? Because you just think about
the way he
like,
put that,
yeah,
too. You know what I'm saying? Because when he says I'm a person, there really isn't a rap cadence to that, right?
right.
He kind of, yeah.
And when you think about that statement, it's like the same chick that I was hawking wasn't even looking at me or could care less. Now is like telling everybody, oh, I knew him when he was Sean. You know what I'm saying? I knew him when he was Sean. It's like, well, you don't know Jay. You understand where I'm coming from? It's just, and that's just the truth. You gotta be like that. You gotta be like
Let me add something to your lyrics. So he said, you helped me get the keys to that V.6. We were so happy poor, but when we got rich, that's when our signals got crossed and we got flipped. Rather mine, I don't know what made me leave that shit, made me speed that quick. Let me see. That's it. It was the cheese. Help them bitches get amnesia quick. Okay, you feel what I'm saying? So, because there's one part in the song I was trying to find. There's one part in the song I was trying to find it, but he said something like, and something like they remember me and I don't remember them. You know what I'm saying? Or like the song he got where he talks about Pender Haven. I think it's December 4th when he says, Pender Haven put me on the cane. Now all the wavy light skinned girls is loving me now. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that about Jay to admit that, nigga, it wasn't till you got plugged in, really, that you was really that dude, you know what I'm saying, to being looked for, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Tupac said the same thing. He said that this one club that he went to, before, right, I think right before he just blew up, he was still an artist, but right before he blew up, he went into a club and they acted as if he didn't even exist. He blew up.
Yep.
They wanted to give him
passing out. Yeah. I remember that shit. He said, I was in the club just last week or last year. He said, lonely as a motherfucker walking around. He said, I just don't understand it. Now these chicks can't hold their stuff. They faking this shit. And, Tupac. He said, it is not me, it's the fame. Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah. And I wanted to say this because when I say the women don't understand the value, it's just like online now. You got Dr. Tiasan Johnson, you got Dr. Curry, the man not. They're now arguing with a chick because there's a sign of some men back in the day talking about I am a man, right? And for whatever
Yeah.
reason, this generation of women seems to have a problem with men, with black men in particular, trying to promote themselves as being men and being human, just like other men. And so, there's black women that are actually like attacking that and saying that, oh, these men, they just want to be white men, they want to, what I'm saying. See, and see, that's the confusing part, because see, you don't want black men to be men, but you want them to have gobs of money. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is there's a disconnect in their value system, when it is when you don't value the man. You can't value money. You don't know what money is, because that man is money. You see what I'm saying? Who he is as a man is money. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of women are looking for these huge sums of monies because they don't know what manhood is, right? And because look at all these lesbians now, right? A lesbian present come out with a $1 billion. This chick used to be straight. Now she looking at him like he's the man. You know what I'm saying? And again, there's a value system, and there's a breakdown in their social understanding when they're going to these extremes, saying, you can't be no man, but yet and still they'll look down on a man for not having $1 million.
Well, I think that goes to the fact that it's not about them understanding manhood. I just don't think they understand that you just can't go outside no more with a hard hat in your hand and get a $70,000, $80,000 job that's going to give you your house, your wife, your 2 kids, and your car in the backyard, right? You need a degree just to hustle, and so I just think that as money has been made more accessible, money has also been made tighter, especially the long money, right? The consistent long money. You can get a quick flip, but you may not get that flip again. And so I think that
Facts.
we don't understand that what would you rather have, a hot ass meal one day or a great warm meal every night, right? And that's the difference. It's just the consistency. I still have this theory, and I stand on it. 10 years from now, we're going to go into a marriageless society. Only the elites will marry, not because even about the wealth transfer, only because it will be an expression of wealth. It would literally be an expression of wealth. It's basically saying, I can afford to be married. I can afford to have this woman. I can afford to have these kids. Y'all can't. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it's going to go into like that aristocratic society again, because men hold the risk of marriage. It's like I say, think about it. If you are a hardworking man, you could be a bus driver. You can't have 2 divorces and think you're gonna be okay. Now, if you're a bus driver and you ain't got no kids and you probably married once, okay, cool. She leaves you, you like, I'll pick myself up. But you can't have 2. Listen, the way we are right now in this country, you can't slip on a banana peel and be okay. So imagine you go through 2 failed marriages, or a failed marriage with multiple kids that you got to pay till they're 18. You could cancel Christmas. You know how hard it is to rebound from that at this point? Man, listen, I was talking to my friend, and she's a clinician like Dr. G, and she would tell me about ex of hers, like, this man was paying $2,300 a month, right? And it was just like, for him, it did something to him. He wrote off those years of his life, that she said. He wrote the years off in his life. Just basically say, yo, these 10 years, I'm done. Now, at this age, when they become off my books, I live again. That's crazy that you say these 10 years are a wash because I got to pay all this money to her and these kids. Huh? What'd you say?
No, I was just asking who are you referring to?
Hold on. This call came out of nowhere. My friend was telling me about her ex who had to pay child support, had to pay $2,300 a month. And he said, I'm writing off my life for these next 10 years because he knew all his resources had to go to this person and those kids. And he's upper intelligentsia, he's upper academia. And he said, look, these 10 years now, because of this bad decision, well, not this bad decision, because of what I went through, I got to write it off. And then, yo, think about us having to live through that. You're like, yo, that's not a joke. A Black C can't do that right now. I know I ain't going to do it. I'll kill her. I'll be Ray Carew. Ian can't do that right now. In order to live a normal life, you can't be frivolous and say, I'm going to just marry this woman or I'm going to just get this woman pregnant. Yo, that is economic genocide on your life at this point.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, it's literal economic genocide. There's no guarantee you're going to rebound from that. And let's be honest. And I'm sure Riri could attest to this. Ain't like this woman going to have compassion for you if you fall on your ass financially and you can't afford to pay no alimony and no child support for like a year. She'll be like, lock them up. Like, that's just a fact.
It depends. It depends. It depends. All women are not like that. I wasn't like that.
Well, like I said, you and the 7 other women on this planet that's not like that. I give y'all, I give y'all special box. But for the other some billion, they're not gonna be like, hey, okay, I understand it's hard out here. Biden rest up our economy, and and little Gertrude, she does need braces, but we'll make it do. Her teeth don't all have to be straight, and you can get on your feet. No, she gonna this nigga, he's on 125th and Convict. Please lock him up. Like, it's a different dynamic, man. We hold the risk. And we just have to be wise, right? Listen, I think we're, as heterosexual men, you would love to have the beautiful woman, even if you want a kid. I think, my opinion, I know nobody's going to really rock with this, but if you are a free man or Black man in America and you're not making above 125, you need one kid. It's just like a car. This ain't the 80s where you got 3-4 cars. No, you need one. Let me get past one child. And then I'll worry about if I can afford another one. If you having 2 or 3 kids in your 30s and think you're going to see some real money in your lifetime, all right. And I'm sure Black C can attest to that. You ain't. Not the way America's set up now. That's why Dream Hoarders is such a powerful book, where he tells you, like, you need 180,000 to even break into the middle class, and then it takes 225,000 to raise a kid from 1 to 18. Now the new Federal Reserve number says it takes almost 300,000? Are you crazy? Man, listen, it ain't worth it. You got to look at your life as a profitable chart. Income, outcome. What can I afford? What can I not afford? Right? And if your counterpart or the woman you're trying to date or want to date or are dating don't understand that, then guess what? You got to be all right, ma. Well, I'm not the one for you. You got to be that transparent enough to say that. You can't just be saying like, we're going to do it. We're going to make it how? No, this ain't Roots. We ain't going to pray our way to no financial freedom. You got to do the right thing. No matter how good she looks, no matter how good he looks, you got to do the right thing.
It only takes prayer, Dre. You're a man of God. It only takes prayer.
Well, as my father used to tell my mother on her way to church, pray for some money. Because at the end of the day, if you ain't getting that, what you go? Pray for some money. You know what I'm saying? But listen, tomorrow we will finish this. Ian, thank you for coming on and dropping jewels.
Sure.
Riri, I hope your back ain't sore from all the whelps from my belt of hitting you with the truth. And Black C, tomorrow, bro, I don't know what happened to me, y'all. My voice just went, I don't know, maybe I talk too much now. I started coughing and, man, but, like I said, this was a good conversation. We said it was only going to be 30 minutes. We ended up for an hour and 20. You know what I'm saying? We revved up Ian and Riri car.
All right.
And it was a good conversation because a lot of these things we don't really talk about on a baseline level. It doesn't have to be confrontational and
No, not at
gender
all.
warish, right? We could talk about on a baseline level, and the baseline is we can't, as men, we can't lie to ourselves and act like the baseline to a functional relationship with a woman in this country is having some type of money and resources. Build a boo is like playing the lottery. Yeah, it's probable, but it's not. I mean, it's a
It's
possibility, but
possible,
it's not
not probable.
probable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
You ain't
you
gonna
know,
just find a woman to do that. Go ahead.
but the thing is though, women are still not staying if you got that resource though. You know what I'm saying? Bill Gates, listen, you got billionaires' wives that are leaving them. Look at the base the most famous quarterback. What's his name? What's that white boy's name? Just recently, his fucking wife left him.
You
You know
talking
what I'm
about
saying?
Tom Brady?
Yeah. What I'm saying is women are different, man. That's what I'm saying. They don't know the
But
value,
see,
bro. They fucking
that's
different.
isolated, right? Because look at Bill Gates' wife. Look at his ex-wife. It comes out that she was cool with him having his side piece at one time. It was cool. I just think that just like Jeff Bezos' wife, right? I just think that they both had paper and they go into these things where like they just go into these phases. Because think about one thing I know from being around a lot of rich folk, they live a laissez-faire life, right? They live a life like, yo, throw caution to the wind. Like, I only live once. If I got all the money and the access, it's like, I'm going to go live. Like, maybe, because, and I'm sure Riri know this by me and her, with the record industry thing. A lot of times these people in the entertainment, let's say like I'm just going to use his name for an example. Let's say like a Jimmy Iovine, right? He might say, yo, this part of my life was meant for me to be with you at this moment. But since he got the money, right, I'm just going to move to France tomorrow. And I'm just going to get a chick in France because I had my time with you over here in Los Angeles. But I'm just saying, these are conversations I've had with these guys, right? Like they go through motions on both sides. The men and the women. It's like, yo, I got money. I'm good on you, man. I'm a billionaire. I'll go here and get this one. And you go here and you get that one, right? I think, but if you're talking about on the baseline level, though, if you're talking about like on working class people or well-to-do middle class people, then yes, it's harder to keep them happy and satisfied, especially if they think they can find someone else that can undergird their lifestyle. I agree with that part. I definitely agree with that part, right? Me and you both know that, Ian. You in a place in Atlanta where men and women play hopscotch with each other. Right? It's almost like they play Monopoly with each other. Like, yo, you date her this week, I'm gonna date her next week. You date him this week, I'm gonna date him next week. Like, and you know how Atlanta is. You go to a club, you see three of your exes dancing next to each other. You're like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? You start speaking under your lips, you're like, oh hell damn, all of them at compound night. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we know how it moves. Don't get it twisted. But when you're looking at, you know this from being college educated, when you look at those type of situations, that's the extreme, right? Because there's not too many Bill Gates in this world. So we don't want to look at them. We always want to look at the middle of the bell curve, where we look at where most of the relationships lie between upper middle class, middle class, lower middle class, broke, right? Because the billionaires, they live this laissez-faire life. Right? Think about how it feels to say, I'm going to jump on a G4 and go to France for lunch and then fly back for dinner, right? Mm-hmm. It's they live it's just a different type of a dynamic. I'll tell you this quick story before I log off. I remember being in Atlanta and me, my man Matt, it was me, my man Matt, and my man Chuck. But Chuck wasn't with us. But I was with my man at the time before I went to China with them, right? So what happened was my former entertainment lawyer, Marcus Vickers, he took me to Chops. I don't know if that Chops is still there, and you can tell me if it is or it isn't. He took me to Chops in Buckhead. the one you have to have the card to swipe in to get into the restaurant. And so he took me to Chops, and inside of Chops was Anderson Cooper, right? Now this is circa 2000, and this was 2009. I think that was 2009, 2010, probably 2010. So I talked to Anderson Cooper at the bar at Chops for like an hour. Cool guy, preference aside, cool dude. So, I fly up. So we fly to Detroit. From Atlanta, we fly to Detroit. Because at the time, in order to go to Hong Kong, you either fly from LAX on Delta or you fly to Detroit. So obviously, Atlanta's closer to Detroit. We go to Detroit. Okay, so I'm in Hong Kong. So we all in Hong Kong now. 3 days later, right? So we on our way to China now, though, right? From Hong Kong after those 3 days. And the Elements Hotel is where you catch the bus. What we call, I think it was a bus, or it was a bus. We caught a bus from the bottom of the Element Hotel into Shenzhen to go to the Shenzhen airport. I had to use the bathroom. Me and Matt go to the top floor. You had to go to the suite. I don't know why the bathroom is in the top floor of the Elements Hotel in Hong Kong. Guess who's sitting there? Anderson Cooper. And you know what Anderson Cooper was doing? Watching himself on CNN in Hong Kong, right? And like when you don't want to be a groupie, but you realize you just talked to him a couple days ago and you want to just see like, am I tripping? I go to him and he kind of like realized it was me and I said, then we're just talking Atlanta. He said, yeah. I said, then it's only been like 3 days. What are you doing? He said, I got an apartment out here. And he goes, and I was like, so you flew out here just to like chill in your apartment? He said, yeah. He said, I love Hong Kong. And you know what I realized then, Ian? That I was broke. Because like, yo, my man, I just saw you in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So you telling me you just felt to fly to Hong Kong to chill in your apartment in Hong Kong and then watch yourself on CNN? Yeah. That's why I'm like, yo, I'm broke.
Wow.
That's why I say you can never use those examples of these people, right? Because they just live a different life. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just like, it's just like money, relationships, You from where I'm coming from? We out here like, please, baby, please, baby, please, baby, baby. They just write it off.
But most women thinking that they understand that though. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to live that life. The average female is trying to live that life and expecting you to live that life too. The average female.
Well, they like I say, the mandate of they don't look. Me and you both know, Ian, you in Atlanta, right? There's more black men under that bridge than actually in apartments, right? And so the special place they have for us when we fell is called the street. That's just what it is. That's why you can't really worry about what they want. It's only what you can offer. You listen. You can go to a Kia dealership and ask for a Bentley. What you gonna leave out that Kia dealership with? Either nothing or a Kia, right? It's not what they want. It's what you can actually offer. You know what I'm saying? That's like I ain't. You know. That's just the truth. You can want a Bentley from a Kia dealership, and you either gonna get the Kia or you just gonna be empty-handed and don't have a car. You know, but I told you that story though because it showed me something, right? It showed me that we don't have an idea or a clue what these people do or how they live. You understand? And they just have that life that we just wake up for the next day to try to get, survival and substance. And they just wake up the next day to say, I'm going to go to Hong Kong and watch myself on CNN. You understand? It's a total different thing.
Value of a dollar because they think that you can do that that you should be able to do that next year.
I agree with that. I think they feel like you should always be able to glow up and grow up and, think that you're going to financially blow up. I don't think that they understand. See, the one thing I tell people, because I'm an investor, the one thing I tell people is you got to be fanatical. If you're a working man, you got to be fanatical about money to get money. You like to like grow your money. You got to be fanatical about it. You got to be like, yo, every check, I'm going to put this amount of money into the market and watch and not touch it, right? You're not going to be one of those iffy, diffy, in and out. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? People don't really understand the bloodthirsty, fanatical ways you got to be in order to be like rich in this country. They don't really understand that. They don't. But we'll finish this tomorrow. If y'all around, we'll actually have the formulated show, and I'll make sure all of y'all have the link early. And Riri, thank you again for listening to us do our Negro babble. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And,
my God. It was a pleasure. I love listening to you guys talk.
yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, man, the famous words of my dad: "Stay black and date white." And
What?
you know,
Oh my gosh. That I'm never going
to.
to agree with. Ever, Dre, ever.
What about
So I can't have my blonde hair, blue eyed Nubian princess, huh? I can't. I hear you,
no.
man. My queen of
Absolutely
the,
not.
I can't have my salt of the earth, my queen of the Nile, huh? I hear you, man.
No.
I hear you.
Not at all.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow, but I'm gonna send that to y'all early. So just let me know if y'all get the link. I'll set it up tonight and send it to y'all early in the morning.
Okay.
But peace, y'all.
All right. Peace. Peace.